Picture this. You're walking down a busy street. You see a man in torn clothes sitting by the corner. Most people walk past him without looking. But what if I told you this man taught a billionaire the most important lesson about self-worth? And here's the crazy part. By the end of this story, that billionaire will be sitting on the dirty sidewalk next to him, and the homeless man will be the one doing the teaching. I promise you, this twist is going to completely change how you see yourself. But first, let me show you how it all started. Meet David. He's 45 years old. He lost his job 6 months ago. Now he sits outside a coffee shop every day, holding a small cardboard sign that says, "Anything helps, God bless." David feels invisible. People look through him like he's not there. His confidence is gone. He thinks he has no value. His dignity, his sense of self-respect is completely broken. Dignity means having respect for yourself. Sound familiar? We all feel worthless sometimes. One morning, a man in an expensive suit stops. This is Michael. He's the CEO of a big company worth millions of dollars. But something about David catches his eye. "Good morning," Michael says. "What's your name?" David looks surprised. Nobody ever asks his name. "David," he whispers. "Nice to meet you, David. I'm Michael." And then Michael does something that makes everyone on the street stare. He sits down, right there on the dirty sidewalk, next to a homeless man. "Tell me about yourself, David," Michael says. David is confused. Why does this stranger care? But slowly he starts talking. "I used to be an engineer. I built bridges. I was good at my job. But the company closed down. I couldn't find new work, lost my apartment, lost everything." Michael listens carefully. He doesn't look at his phone. He doesn't seem rushed. "You know what's interesting, David? You still call yourself an engineer. Not former engineer or ex-engineer, just engineer." David thinks about this. "Well, I guess I am still an engineer. The knowledge is still here." He taps his head. Michael smiles. "Exactly. Your circumstances changed, your situation, your conditions, but you didn't change." "David, can I ask you something? If I gave you $1 million right now, would you become a better person?" David shakes his head. "No, I'd still be me." "And if I took away all my money, would I become a worse person?" "No," David says, getting interested. "Exactly." Michael's eyes light up. "So our worth isn't about what we have, it's about who we are." But here's what's really happening. Something is changing in David's face. His shoulders are straightening. His voice is getting stronger. What he's about to realize about himself is going to shock Michael in a way he never expected. "I never thought about it that way," David says. "I've been so focused on what I lost. I forgot about what I still have." "What do you still have?" Michael asks. David thinks. "My knowledge, my experience, my ability to solve problems, my kindness." He pauses. "My dignity." There it is. David just remembered his intrinsic value, the worth he has just by being human. Look at his face now. He's sitting straighter, making eye contact. He's remembering who he really is underneath his circumstances. But here's where this story takes a turn that nobody, and I mean nobody, sees coming. Michael is about to reveal the real reason he stopped today, and it's going to flip everything you think you know about success. Michael stands up to leave, but first he says something that changes everything. "David, I want to tell you why I really stopped today." David listens carefully. 2 weeks ago, my company lost a huge contract. I felt like a complete failure. I was walking around feeling worthless. Then I saw you here yesterday, and I thought, that man has nothing, but he still greets people with kindness. He says thank you for small coins. He hasn't lost his humanity. Michael's voice gets emotional. You taught me that circumstances don't define us. I came back today to thank you and to remind myself of this lesson. Did you catch that? The billionaire CEO was learning from the homeless man the entire time. Both of them struggling with the exact same problem, forgetting their worth. This story shows us something powerful. We often think successful people have it all figured out, but everyone struggles with self-worth sometimes. Rich or poor, young or old, we all forget our intrinsic value. The beautiful thing? We can remind each other. Michael needed David's lesson as much as David needed to remember his own worth. Your circumstances will change throughout life. You'll have good times and bad times. Jobs will come and go. Money will come and go. But your dignity, that core respect for yourself, stays constant. If you've ever felt like David, invisible, worthless, forgotten, I want you to remember this moment. You have value that no circumstance can touch. Now, here's what I want you to do. In the comments below, practice using our 3 words naturally. 1. Dignity. Tell me about a time you kept your dignity in a tough situation. 2. Circumstances. Share how you handled difficult circumstances in your life. 3. Intrinsic value. What reminds you that you matter just because you exist? And remember David's lesson. Your worth isn't determined by what you have or don't have. It's determined by who you are as a human being. If this story helped you see yourself differently, smash that like button. Subscribe for more stories that teach English and life lessons together.